Okay, it's our next presentation to the public regarding our vote on November 4th, 2025 for funding called Investing in Denville's Future. In 2023, the district worked with 120 stakeholders throughout the town to create a 5-year strategic plan. Two large takeaways from that were: one, make sure you're prepared for additional students that might be coming from the developments, and two, keep our class sizes to an optimal level. Here's some history going back a little bit about what we've been doing in the district since 2024 when I first arrived as a superintendent. Those of you do know that I'm a resident of town and lived here since 2002. My children both went to school here through Riverview, Valley View, and Morris Knolls. Both of them are out of school. My son's in the military in the Coast Guard, and my daughter is a teacher at Morristown Middle School. But since 2014, we have completed $19 million worth of facility, security, and technology projects. All were funded with local reserves, energy savings, and grants. No referendum debt. So we have not gone to the public since before I've been here for additional funds until now. In 2019, we became debt-free. So we're there's approximately 30% of New Jersey school districts in the state that have no debt. So we're in that smaller group. In 2019, we leased the former St. Mary's Prep to be used as an annex to Riverview and to prepare for the expected additional students. Again, no additional funds were requested. So that's an important fact that back in 2019, we took over a building. We did upgrades to it, repairs, improvements, and staffed the building with no additional funds requested. And then we completed a study in 2023 to look at the cost of renting or purchasing. So we used a $20 million addition as our guide. So a $20 million addition would require borrowing funds, which would equal $30 million after 20 years. And the rent would be about $6 million. So there's about a savings in 20 years of around $24 million comparing purchasing, probably an addition for around $20 million, or renting. Our lease is favorable to us. We do have 20 years, and there's a 4-year notice if it was going to be broken, and so that would give us some time. We also have favorable facility maintenance language in there that is 65-35 split in our favor. So it's really been a very useful building for our district. In 2025, in May of 2025, we received our updated demographic study. And in the last 10 years, we saw that our student population increased 100 students since 2015. But the study also shows that we should expect another 250 students by 2030. Now, some of this is due to the new developments in town. Some of it's due to turnover in homes. And just to be clear, the new properties that are included in the study include all the ones that you see that have started. There are at least 2 more that have not started that are not included in these numbers. They've been approved but not started. So anything that's been started, shovels in the ground, you could see them when you drive around town. There's one by Morris Knolls. There's one on Route 10. There's one by where the Alexis Diner was. They're not completely finished, but there are houses, there are residents there, and we do have students in all of those. Our separate proposal is for the construction costs necessary to renovate the second floor of the Riverview Annex, to improve the 4 existing classrooms, common areas, bathrooms, storage areas for the employment of additional certificated and/or non-certificated staff, and for the continued maintenance of the Riverview Annex and the additional cost for the lease at a cost of $700,250. This will represent a 1.83% tax levy increase. So how will the passage of the funding question help Denville? It will fund the renovations needed to use the second floor, the additional rent and other expenses, including personnel. It will provide the district with funds to bring back some staff that had to be cut in the 2025-26 school year budget. And in the following years, the funds will be used to allow the district to hire additional staff to accommodate the additional students and keep class sizes at the optimal level. The tax impact on the average home in Denville is $79 a year. Now, it does require a little conversation here. When we made this calculation, we picked a date and time, and I believe it was early September. And yes, it is possible that that will adjust, hopefully lower, due to the fact that there will be more homes coming online, meaning when the new developments come online and people are living them and paying taxes, the tax burden will be spread among more people. Voting information. The vote is November 4th. That's election day. You will get that in the mail. You'll know about where you're supposed to report to vote. Early voting is October 25th through November 2nd in Town Hall, in Denville Town Hall. You also can vote by mail or in the drop boxes or in person. So we went through the presentation, and I'm going to open it up for any questions that there might be. And if anyone has a question, I'd be happy to answer that. So if you don't mind, just speak up and I will answer your question if I can.
Yeah, it seems like the new resident construction is closer to Lakeview. How is more space at Riverview going to be beneficial, being that the construction is more on the other side of town?
That's a great question. The question was, in case everybody didn't hear, that most of the new properties are on the south side of town along Route 10 in that area. And how will the changes to Riverview impact Lakeview, for example? So over the past few years, we've changed our border, meaning it used to be pretty much everybody south of Route 46 went to Lakeview, everybody north of Route 46 went to Riverview. But over the past several years, we've been shifting that. And one of the reasons is due to the new developments that are on the south side of town. There are 2 in particular that are further south than Lakeview, meaning they would have to pass Lakeview to get to Riverview. Those students will have to go to Lakeview. To accommodate that, we are putting 2 of the new developments into Riverview. The one next to, it's the Toll Brothers one next to Morris Knolls, and also the new one that has not been open yet but is constructed near the old food town on Route 53. Those 2 will go, any of the students living in there will go to Riverview, along with the students that used to go to Lakeview that lived in an area we call the Flex Zone, which is the area south of Route 46 and into Indian Lake and then up by Woodland and down towards the Rockaway border too. Thank you for the question. It was a good question. Any other questions?
You mentioned before that there is a split between St. Mary's and Denville Township Public Schools. How does that work concerning general maintenance and things like that?
Okay, so I referenced something in the lease where there's a split when it comes to maintenance. So it's not regular maintenance, it would be major maintenance. So the minor things like say example, a faucet needs to be replaced in one of the bathrooms. That would not be a split, that would be on us. It's major maintenance, meaning like a replacement of a roof or an HVAC system or windows or walls or something along those lines. That would be a 65% 35% split. We pay 35% and the parish pays 65%. So over the summer, we replaced a roof at Riverview Annex for approximately $200,000, and the district paid 35% and the parish paid 65%. And you might notice that that was credited towards our rent. So it actually is in our favor when we can do a project like that and get a credit towards the rent, because it allows us some freedom within the operating budget. Any other question? We have one more.
Seems like this is going to be the most cost-effective way and to continue on with the increased populations. Is that your opinion? You think that this is the best way to go about it?
I think there's a lot of really positive things about this. One is, even though we'd like to own the building, the rent is substantially less. It would take 52 years for us to rent the building at the existing rent, including the 3% increases. It would take 52 years for it to even out, meaning $30 million and the rent. So that's one thing I think is really positive. Sorry, could you repeat the last part?
Just that you think that this is the most cost-effective
Right.
way to continue, given the anticipated increase in mileage.
Right. I mean, we're going to gain some additional space on the second floor, new classrooms. We're going to look at the efficiency of the other rooms in the building, and we're going to be able to accommodate a lot more students in the K-5 grades. We did add 2 bathrooms to Riverview main building in classrooms so that we can have additional kindergarten or pre-K. And really, the cost here of $700,000 compared to building something, if we were to build a new school on the property we have on the south side of town, even if it was just a school about the size of the annex, it would be a very large endeavor, getting somewhere in the $100 million range. So our architect, this included a new bus garage. So let's just say probably around $70 or $80 million, due to the fact that there would need road construction, we would need infrastructure, sewer, water, all the things that go along with the groundwork before we even get into building the building. So this is much more cost effective, much less of an impact on the taxpayer. And I really do feel strongly that this will be a great solution for us to accommodate the additional students, at least until 2030. All right, so since there's no other questions, we will end this. This will be posted on our website, and we'd be happy to take any other questions if you want to reach out to me directly. Steve Forte, my email is sforte@denville.org. Thank you.